McCook's Mr. Bill, and it's well known that the cops have always targeted the poor people when they're out on the roads. Their junker cars are always an easy target for law enforcement, and they know you don't have any money to fight back, so you'll take whatever abuse they throw at you. Years ago, I had bought a car for $300, and that car did quite well for me for 11 years. I bought this one, and it's run 10 years, and I paid $400 for it. Old junker cars get me by and allow this poor man to stay on the highway. But those days are ending. Law enforcement, of course, is targeting older cars. There's no question there. That's your first enemy. Your second enemy is the insurance companies. You're required by law to carry liability insurance at the least. And that, unlike when I was a kid, I saw most of the kids driving their old junker cars, and $100 would buy you liability insurance for the entire year. And today it's staggering what a lot of the kids are paying, upwards of $1,000 for liability insurance a month for some of them. With that in mind, though, that's a pretty good indication that that is an enemy that will keep a lot of people off the road, and it does today. I see a lot of people, and young people and poor, walking today in McCook because they can't afford the insurance. Even those that buy a junker car for a few $100s, they can't afford the insurance to put it on the road. That's your second enemy. Your next enemy is fuel, gasoline. In 1912, gasoline was 10 cents a gallon. Today it's about $3.50, give or take, and it's been as high as about $4.18, I think is the highest I've ever seen it here in McCook, Nebraska. But I'm here to tell you that's a devastating figure when you're trying to drive. If you're poor, that eats up your very limited income extremely quick and keeps you off the road. Gasoline, that's your third enemy. The fourth enemy to the poor are the automakers themselves, the car manufacturers. They have their engineers making it and designing cars nowadays so that they will not be able to be worked on by you. The backyard mechanic is dead. That wasn't by accident. They want their people working on them. You have to take it to that car company and spend $100 an hour to have their mechanics have a job, if you will. And the parts are staggering, and anytime they can mess around with, they will do it. And not just to destroy your ability to fix the cars. All these freelance auto mechanics, the backyard and the mechanics that on the side do a little mechanic work, they want to get rid of all of them. And how are they doing it? They're setting up almost everything, so it takes big special machines, big, expensive special machines to do any repairs. For example, this one, I have to take all sorts of bars across and out, and it can take well over an hour and a half just to change the battery. And you have to have special tools to even do it. In the old days, I would pop in and out a battery in 10 minutes, and that as if I was goofing off at the same time. And again, the parts are staggering in price. My friend just bought a vehicle from Ford, a big pickup, and it didn't have a dipstick in the transmission. He questioned it. He said, "Oh, we don't do that." He said, "If it has any trouble, you have to bring it in and hook it up to our machine." And he said, "And we're the only ones that have it, so you could have to come here." And he said, "Well, what happens if something breaks down?" He said, "Well, we'll fix it if it does, you know, at your expense, of course." And, of course, it took special transmission fluid at $30 a quart. 13 quarts in there. He's looking at some serious money, and a lot of other people are. The giant corporation auto manufacturers, they're not your friend. Their goal is to take more and more of your money away from you, as all corporations are. Their goal is nothing less than to keep you in slavery. But that's 4 of the reasons that the poor people are targeted in America. And so your goal is, you might be thinking of a plan B for travel. A plan B for travel, at least if you're poor. Rate this film.